Wil Luttrell. Commenting on 170584.
Good morning, members of the city. Good morning, members of the City Council. My name is Wil Luttrell. I'm an entrepreneur, software engineer, and investor with a specific focus in advertising technology and proud Philly resident. Most recently, I'm founder and CEO of Currency, Inc. I'm here today to testify against Governor Wolf's proposed technology tax. I moved to Philadelphia from New Jersey in 2005. In 2008, I co-founded Integral Ad Science as Chief Technology Officer. I'm proud to say that we took a small team of 3 founders, a few interns, and grew it into a 400-person company with over $100 million in annual revenue in 2016. Unfortunately, this is not a Philly success story. That company was built in New York City on the backs of thousands of hours of Amtrak travel from my home to Manhattan. Shortly before founding Integral, I was contacted by venture capital firms to do technical due diligence on another technology company based in Center City, Philadelphia. That company was Invite Media, subsequently acquired by Google in 2010 for $81 million. As a division within Google, that company has grown into the largest programmatic ad buying platform in the world, worth billions of dollars and creating hundreds, perhaps thousands of jobs. Unfortunately, this is also not a Philly success story. By the time of the Google acquisition, most of Invite's employees and operations had moved to New York City, which is where Invite lives on today under the name DoubleClick Bid Manager. When I decided to start Currency, a new company in the same space as Integral and Invite, I had a difficult decision to make. The advantages of New York City for an ad tech company are enormous. Every ad agency and advertising-related company of note is either headquartered or has a presence there. Working capital is easy to raise there. The network of experienced sales, marketing, product, executive engineering talent is robust. But I chose Philly. It's a city where I live and love, where I'm raising my child and planting my roots. In addition to the business thesis of my company, we also have the thesis that this type of company can be built right here in city limits. We have launched in January and currently employ 15 people in our office at 19th and Market. We are recruiting employees from New York City and from New Jersey instead of the other way around. But that future in Philly is in jeopardy. As we move from these humble beginnings, a new additional 6% sales tax on our services will create an undeniable incentive to move our operations out of the city and out of the state. The addition of this tax will also impact the many software services we consume, adding to our costs and hitting us further on both ends, exacerbating the situation. If this tax is imposed on our industry, the highest of its kind in the country, you're saying loud and clear, we don't want tech industry here. You're telling the Googles and the Facebooks, do not expand here or be subject to this tax. You're saying do not invest in tech companies here or be subject to the tax, which is a killer for companies like mine. And finally, you have the worst possible outcome. Once a company grows to be successful and perhaps looking to be acquired, a tech tax in PA might literally force them to move before completing the transaction. A disaster. Pushing the high-growth tech companies out of the state in the pursuit of short-term tax gains is the wrong approach and will leave Pennsylvania and Philly behind the modern economy. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for your testimony.
Lauren Schwartz, commenting on 170584.
Hello, and thank you very much for your time. My name is Lauren Schwartz. I'm the CEO and owner of TechWise Group, a Microsoft Gold partner that provides technology services to small and growing businesses in the greater Pennsylvania region. I have spent my entire career in technology working with and for some of the largest companies and some of the smallest. Today, I'm speaking to you on behalf of the hundreds of smaller businesses that TechWise Group supports and the 1 million small businesses, over 98% of the businesses in the state that provide jobs for 2.4 million people. These businesses are the physicians' practices, the law offices, consulting companies, manufacturers, construction firms, restaurant chains, retailers, farmers, you name it, that provide needed services and create jobs in this region. Each of these businesses are also technology companies. No business, regardless of size, can do what they do without technology. And these businesses are the ones who will be most impacted by reinstating the tech tax imposed in 1991 and lifted in part in 1997. Small businesses must invest in their technology to modernize and protect against the cyber threats that are increasing every day. They invest in technology to grow and to compete. They invest in technology to protect their information, process orders, service their clients, and so many other things. In short, technology to them is not a luxury. These technology investments are paid for from limited budgets, loans when attainable, and directly from the pockets of the owners of the business. The most powerful and innovative technology investments in areas like marketing automation, client relationship management, collaboration, and data analytics require significant technology consulting to configure, customize, and integrate. Imposing a 6% tax on the services needed to configure, customize, and integrate technologies is more than an additional cost or an additional strain on limited budgets. Reinstating this tax is saying to small business owners, all 1 million of them, that Pennsylvania wants to place a tax on their efforts to grow, their ability to create jobs, and Pennsylvania wants to tax innovation, sending us back to 1991. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you for your testimony.
Dean Miller, commenting on 170584.
Good afternoon. Thank you to the City Council for having us here, and to Councilman O for sponsoring this important resolution. I'm Dean Miller, the President and CEO of the Philadelphia Alliance for Capital and Technologies, which is the largest membership and trade organization focused on the technology community in and around Philadelphia. And we thank you for having us here today to talk about the tech tax. It is officially known in the Commonwealth as the Computer Services Tax. And as you've just heard from two CEOs, and we'll hear from two more, it is a job killer. It is a job killer. It's a 6% tax on computer services, custom software development, and a host of other computer-related and technology-related taxes that will kill the technology growth that we have so experienced here in Philadelphia in particular. There are only 3 other states in the land that tax these things, and they do so at half the rate of what has been proposed by the Commonwealth. They are Hawaii, South Dakota, and New Hampshire, not major tech hubs. None of our surrounding states tax these areas of technology services. And the most important thing to leave you with is this: these jobs are portable. They don't require real estate. They don't require physical space. The people can pick up their computers with their internet connections, and they can move across the bridge to New Jersey, down south into Delaware, or even quite simply to Texas, South America, Central America, or India. These are jobs that have increasingly come here to Philadelphia. They're coming here because of the great resources that we have with our wonderful universities, but they can leave very quickly as soon as they're taxed. And we're talking about jobs and important technology developments both for small businesses, medium-sized businesses, and large businesses. It's across the board. So we encourage you to pass this resolution against the technology tax, again, the computer services tax proposed by the governor and the Commonwealth, and we thank you again here today.
Thank you for your testimony, sir.
Alex Djurovic Acklesberg, commenting on 170584.
Hello. I'd just like to quickly thank Councilman O and the rest of Council for letting me speak on this issue. This is an extremely distressing issue to my company, ZipTech. We are a web development, design, and software company based right across the street at 1 South Broad. I'm a lifelong Philadelphian and graduate of Philly Public High Schools, and we've created 25 jobs here over the last 9 years that are very well paying. And for us, there's a couple of really big problems with the tax. Number one is that it's really picking winners and losers and isn't fair, and we hope that alone would have you support it. In a state where no retirement income is taxed, we feel like either retirement income or even an increase in the income tax would be more fair than taxing one industry alone 6%. We work with a large number of international clients, some who have Pennsylvania locations, and we compete against not just other states, but other countries that don't have the same sorts of standards of living and costs associated with being here in the United States. And 6% would, for most service businesses, be equivalent to the majority of their margins, because service businesses are, generally speaking, not extremely profitable, and most service businesses are just small 1 or 2 person contractors or shops. So we believe also that at ZivTech that we would have a really hard time dealing with this because a lot of our contracts with big clients stipulates that we would be responsible for that sales tax if it was to be enacted. So that would essentially prevent us from either working with that company or would necessitate us moving to New Jersey or Delaware, where those companies also have locations. I also would just like to mention that, you know, this is really a tax on the Philadelphia region and the Pittsburgh region. These are industries that are creating jobs in these areas. They may not be creating as many jobs in rural counties in Pennsylvania, but this is really going to disproportionately affect our region and our economy. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your testimony.
David BrooksFan, commenting on 170584.
Good
Yes,
morning,
ma'am.
President Clark and distinguished members of City Council. My name is David BrooksFan. I've started 4 tech companies in Pennsylvania. I am founder and executive chairman of Currency Inc., which I started with Mr. Luttrell, who testified earlier. I'm also founder and board member of Monetate, founder and board member of DreamIt, and was founder and CEO of MarketSpan, which today is LexisNexis PortLink. I'm here today to urge the passage of the resolution opposing proposed taxes for technology and computer services in Pennsylvania. Technology companies are a huge part of our future. 5 of the top 6 most valuable companies in the world are tech companies. Apple, Alphabet, and Facebook are all located in the Bay Area. Microsoft and Amazon are in Seattle. We need to be able to develop those type of companies in Pennsylvania. And to put a finer point on what Mr. Luttrell said earlier, we will have to move Currency, which we think can be a very, very significant company, if this tax is imposed. We have enough challenges trying to launch a great company in Philadelphia without having the added disadvantage of having to pay 6% tax on not only our revenues, but also the services that we purchase and use. Pennsylvania has a lot of talent, but there are lots of other places to find talent. If this tax passes, we're going to lose companies, and it's not going to be to New Jersey and Delaware. It's going to be to New York, Boston, and the Bay Area. When we started DreamIt in 2008, Philadelphia was not far behind New York. That gulf has widened. This tax will make it unbridgeable. I think it would be a lot smarter for us to try and become in the 21st century to tech what Delaware became in the 20th century for industrial companies. We should make it an incredibly business-friendly, tech company-friendly environment, and we should be recruiting, not chasing away these companies. And another example of things that we will lose if this tax passes is right now, because of the high cost of living in the Bay Area, lots of those Bay Area companies are encouraging people, their employees, very highly talented and skilled people, to move elsewhere. You can work here and live anywhere. We should be bringing those people to Pennsylvania. Having a hostile business environment to tech companies will not accomplish that. Thank you very much for the opportunity to testify, and I again urge the passage of the bill.